The New Species product line of high-potency nutritional supplements empower your body to fight for you so you can enjoy your life full of energy, strength, and endurance.
Our mission at NuSpecian is to offer products to help purify and rebuild your body system so you can lead a better, longer life.
NuSpecian formulas are designed to comprehensively meet your body's nutritional needs. A tablespoon can replace many bottles of tablets filling your cabinets. NuSpecian raw plant-based ingredients are easily absorbed and used by your body. It's safe and effective nutrition that you can really feel. Each of our formulas is designed to support your body as a whole, allowing it to do the work it was designed to do.
My labs have shown that my body's gotten stronger, so I know NuSpecian works.
Maintain, improve, or rebuild your health with the help of NuSpecian.
Order now at NuSpecian.com.
Good morning and welcome to the NuSpecian Live. I'm Jillian.
And I'm Aston. Good morning.
This season, the show is dedicated to Q&A. So after a couple of quick announcements, we will turn it over to you in the chat and we'll begin to answer your questions. So quickly, today we're starting something new. We have begun streaming to multiple platforms at the same time. So those of you who are with us on newspecies.com on our website, you see the chat box, and that's where the questions and answer is actually happening. If you are watching us on Facebook or YouTube, we thought we would start streaming there to bring awareness to the show that we're actually doing on our website and invite you to come over to the website. So if you want to actually engage in the Q&A today and post any questions for us about NuSpecian products, the company in general, your health, you can go to newspecies.com, right in the main menu, click on live stream, and you'll see the Q&A right below it. Click on that and you'll be right with us. So it's a pretty quick switch over. You won't miss much if you want to do that. Otherwise, you're welcome to continue to watch us on any platform that you're currently on. You can also submit questions in advance for the show. So if you go to NuSpecian app, right on the homepage is a form you can fill out. If you include your email in the form, you can then we'll send you a clip when we answer your question. So that way, if you didn't make it to the show or you weren't sure which show we'd get your question on, you can always just give us your email, and then Kayla will send you the clip of the answer to your question. Additionally, we want to invite you to join our lists. By lists, I mean our email list, our mailing list, or give us permission to text you. We need your explicit permission to send you any information about NuSpecian, any updates and announcements, promotions, so any kind of educational articles. We think we do a lot of cool, interesting stuff. So if you actually want to join those lists, you have to give us permission to market to you. You can click the link in the chat box. It'll take you to a form where by just putting in your information, you are giving us permission to market to you. And we would appreciate at least your email and your mailing address. We do often send cards or nice greetings to our clients, and if we have your address, it makes that easier. But also, if you give us permission to text you to, sometimes that helps for different kinds of announcements. So please get all your updates directly from our platforms, no matter where else you might hear us or follow us. We'd prefer you in those places.
And when we do discounts, of course, a lot of you always asking for discounts. You got to give us your email. We will not market to you. We will not let you know unless you give us permission. So when you call in or you go to the NuSpecian offices, verify with the NuSpecians there that they have your correct email. And of course, we have the app. We do discounts on the app. So make sure you have the app. Make sure your family members have the NuSpecian app. Make sure your friends and coworkers have the NuSpecian app, because a lot of you do refer people. You refer a lot of people to us, and they buy. So we appreciate that. But when they have the app on their phones, they're going to be able to learn more about new species. And when you ask them to join these Q&As that we do, they can learn for themselves, independent of you, which is what you want. They can learn about new species. And now, as far as questions, we know you have a ton of questions. You ask me them every day in WhatsApp and email and text and phone calls and consultations, all the way I communicate with you. You have a lot of questions. Don't be shy. Ask them. If you don't want to divulge any personal information about yourself, that's fine. But you can ask without divulging your personal information. We're here to give you knowledge about health and history. We're here to give you information about health and history. Information and knowledge that you can use to help you, to help your family and your friends. And that's why you refer a lot of people, because you learn a lot from us. And we have helped a lot of you. And we know you want to help other people as well, especially family members and friends.
All right. And lastly, yes, our stores are still closed. We still wish Jonathan the best. He's a newer employee that we had hired and pretty quickly had to deal with a health issue and has been on a leave of absence. It looks like it's going to be a bit longer than we had hoped. So we're currently hiring an additional employee to join our team. So that way, even once Jonathan is back, whenever our team members need to take off, because they have lives and needs too, we won't have to close so much. So we are hiring an additional team member, and Mary's going to put the link in the chat to the careers page on our website. And if you or anyone you know wants to work for NuSpecian, or at least see what the position requirements are, please go to that link, learn about the position, and apply if you think that you are a good fit, or forward it to someone else that you think might be. But we are hiring right away and pretty quickly, so don't wait.
And yes, we pay at the market and maybe even a little higher, but we pay at the market at minimum. And yes, you get benefits. You get benefits. So please refer your friends and your family. Let's keep Brooklyn open. It's been closed now for a few weeks, and a lot of you have to do the commute up to Elmont or up to Bronxville. So please, it's your store. It's NuSpecian store. Please refer someone who can help keep our stores open. We're going to depend on all of you, especially you NuSpecians. We need your help. All right? All right.
All right, so let's say good morning to Vernon. Vernon says, hello, my NuSpecian family. Hello, Vernon. Hello, Suzanne. She says the same thing, actually. Andrea, good morning. Jeff, good morning. Audra, good morning. And we look forward to many more of you joining us here in the chat. We have a couple of interesting questions and things that come up from our team members. We're always hearing from our team, especially in our team trainings, where they ask us a lot of questions about our products and how they can be used. And so we could certainly go into some of those things, but we'd rather answer any questions you might have, or even comments. Maybe you just want to discuss something. So go ahead and put it in the chat. We stay on up to a half hour, but we'll always end early if no one has any pressing thoughts today, so that is fine. So we'll just keep buying a little bit of time. So if we get into some chit chat here, don't think that you can't continue to chat, because we want to prioritize your questions.
Right. So one of the chit chat, excuse me, we can get into, a lot of people are confusing. A lot of you out there and your friends and families may be doing the same thing. And you need to help them. You need to help yourselves, and you need to help them work with their doctors. So one of the biggest confusions, we at NuSpecian, we see probably everything when it comes to health. We see probably everything when it comes to the relationships of patients with their doctors. So one of the things that we notice is that people are confusing remission, disease remission. So it doesn't have to be just cancer. It could be any disease. People are confusing disease remission, including cancer, especially cancer, with cancer cure. And you all need to clarify with your doctors, because a lot of you do surgery, you do radiation, you do chemo, and you mistakenly believe that because the doctor did radiation or chemo or surgery, that your cancer is cured or it's gone, you need to ask your doctor explicitly whether your cancer is either cured or it's in remission. Remission means that there's still symptoms of the disease, which means that you likely still have the disease. Even if the surgery worked the way the doctor wanted it, even if the radiation or chemo work or the other medication you're taking for whatever it is, high blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol. So that's what remission is. You still have the symptoms. You still have evidence of the disease. Cure means it's gone, completely eradicated from your whole body. So if it's blood pressure, it means that all your blood vessels are now healthy and functioning the way they should function. If it's diabetes, it means that your A1C is likely at 5.5 or below. And the doctor will tell you that because your A1C is that low, there's no evidence of diabetes in your body. If it's high cholesterol, even if the cholesterol is low, below the total cholesterol is below 199, you could still have high cholesterol. The medication you're taking could just be suppressing the symptoms of the high blood cholesterol. And then if you have heart disease and other vascular diseases caused by cholesterol, you come off the medication for a month or two, and those disease conditions are going to blow up again. You're going to get more stents in your heart. You're going to get a heart attack. You're going to get a stroke. And if it's cancer, you assume that your cancer is gone, and that's why you all have heard, and you don't tell me that you have never heard anyone says, it came back with a vengeance. It never left. It never left. And if you go back and talk to all the people you know today who says the cancer comes back with a vengeance, they will tell you that the doctors never look in their eyes and say the cancer is cured. It's completely gone. That's what cure means. It's completely gone. So cancer cure and cancer remission, or disease cure and disease remission, are two completely different things that you all should be thinking about, especially those of you on medication. So if you have any questions about that, we're here.
All right. So we do have some questions that Kayla is noticing on YouTube, but we are not particularly looking at YouTube or Facebook for questions. We're primarily looking at the chat that's on our website. So she's happening to catch those questions and passing them on to me, and we'll put them in. But it's not guaranteed we'll see those questions. So please, if you want to communicate in the chat, go over to NuSpecian.com, click on live stream, click join right now, and it'll take you like 5 seconds, and you'll be with us here on our chat on our website. All right. So we did get a chat while you were speaking from Andrea. She said she's a first-time viewer. What is considered normal blood pressure? And do you have a formulation for high blood pressure?
So normal blood pressure is statistical. So most doctors in the United States, I can only speak for the United States. We do work with a lot of, for our clients in Canada and Europe, especially Great Britain and Italy. And we have a lot of clients in other parts of the world, like Africa and the Caribbean. But it seems like different doctors in different regions of the world, they have a different number in mind. And we don't know why. But for the United States and pretty much and Canada, normal blood pressure is 120 over 70. 120 over 70. And some doctors, if your pressure moves up to 130 over 85, they will put you on medication. And they use those words, your borderline high blood pressure or your pre-blood pressure. I believe that borderline and pre are nonsense, just from my personal perspective. Either you have something or you don't have it. Yes or no, right? So, but if there are question marks as to, or uncertainties as to whether you have high blood pressure or not, then, I think that you all should just take the precautionary measure and start taking steps to help your body to heal itself. Change your diet, change your lifestyle, get some exercise in, 3-4 times a week. Just start doing things to make sure that it doesn't go higher than where it actually is. So normal blood pressure is from my perspective, and based on all of medical science and biochemistry, is 120 over 70 is an excellent number. And the reason why I say that is that because I've seen people whose blood pressure while they're on medication is 130 over 80 or 85, and it's still damaging their kidneys. They're still having heart palpitation. They're still having headaches. They're still having dizziness and nausea from that, from that low number. So everybody's body react very differently when it comes to high blood pressure. And that's why it is one of the top killers of the human species. And yes, it causes kidney failure, eye damage, heart damage. And yes, a lot of people who die, they die from high blood pressure without having a symptom. So you got to keep your pressure. You got to check your pressure frequently, especially if it runs in your family.
And what does NuSpecian typically recommend for someone with high blood pressure?
So we have at NuSpecian.com, we have what we call starter systems, starter packages. They're very basic, and over the last 20 or so years, we have used them very successfully to help a lot of people with their blood pressure. So blood pressure, you said you're new to NuSpecian. So high blood pressure is where the blood vessels are shrinking all over the body, and they shrink to the point where the blood just can't flow the way it should. So the pressure builds up. It's like your bathroom, your toilet is clogging, or your sink in your kitchen is clogging. And that's the pressure. The water is trying to get through, and it can't get through because there are blockages. So it's the same thing with the blood, especially when it gets to the heart. That's why you have heart palpitation. The blood can't flow the way it should. So we have a starter package for high blood pressure. We also have upgraded systems for people who have chronic high blood pressure. There are people who are just chronic. It's damaging their kidneys already, damaging their eyes, their heart, causing brain issues, maybe even stroke. So those people may need the more upgraded, but even those we recommend to do the starter packages. I'm not sure if there's a way to put the link in YouTube. I think you're from.
Oh no,
No,
we don't have any links. I mean, there's a way, but we're mostly focusing on the chat on our website.
right. So the other option you can do is YouTube private.
No,
Is what the communication to us?
I don't think so.
Okay, so they can't give us their phone number. All right, so
They
maybe
can email Kayla at NuSpecian.com.
okay.
And Kayla could follow up with information if you need to. Otherwise, you could quickly leave YouTube, go to NuSpecian.com, click on live stream, click on the Q&A, and you'll be with us. And the links are all right here in this chat.
So Kayla is Kyla.
Kayla.
Kayla, you see what I just did? I just assassinated your name. All right, you could repeat the email address again.
Kayla, Kayla at NuSpecian.com.
Okay, great.
All right. So I do see all the questions in between, and we'll get to them all. But just there's another question related to blood pressure, so I just want to string them together. So CW asks, my blood pressure is under or within the normal rate, but for some reason, the minute I eat some form of salt, it runs high. Could there be a root cause that is dormant? And if so, what kinds of questions should I ask my MD? So I'll just preface that by saying, just like your blood sugar, your blood pressure, it's normal for them to go up and down with your diet, your moods. If you're under a lot of stress, your blood pressure could be high. What's not normal is when it never comes down. And that's what would be considered hypertension that gets treated. Now, having said that, though, based on CW's question, I'm not sure if there's more you'd want to say there.
Well, she's CW. I don't know why I say she, but CW, you are.
I think he when I read it. So.
He, okay.
I don't know.
you are connecting the rise of your blood pressure with salt or sodium or any kind of acidic foods. So again, as I said before, high blood pressure is where the blood vessels are shrinking. Nothing shrinks blood vessels like acids. Salt is a form of acid. So any acidic food, any sodium is very acidic as well. And you all know that if you look at the beverages a lot of you drink, or any cans that you get food in or bottles, you'll see that sodium is always a primary preservative. It's almost inescapable. And a lot of you who do a lot of the the natural milk, the nut milk, if you check the bottles, you'll see that there's a lot of sodium also in those milk, as they use it as preservatives. So if you have high blood pressure, all you have to do is to be exposed to a tiny amount of salt, and your blood vessels will just react to it and shrink. They just literally just close up, especially the tiny blood vessels called the capillaries. So yes, salt, sodium, any acidic foods can cause, the pressure to get high and stay high. And you have to just, I know it's hard. Salt tastes really good. Sodium tastes even better. But you have to cut it out, cut back. Otherwise, when you have one of those rides, you could get kidney damage, you could get heart damage, you could get a stroke, you could get, any kind of health issue.
Right. And I'm wondering too, CW, if you know that your blood pressure goes up after eating salt, is that because so you must be checking it, and then I'm wondering why you're checking it if you don't already have a problem. So I know some people will say their blood pressure is normal, but then they fail to mention that they are already on medication, and because of the medication it's normal, but if it weren't for medication, they have a disease. So I don't know if you're saying it's normal with medication so that you already have a problem. In that case, there could be questions asked, and may recommend that you ask your doctor, but otherwise it is normal for your blood pressure to go up and down. The important thing is that it comes back down. When it stops doing that, you've got a problem.
Right. And even when you're on medication, I have clients who are on 3-4 medication for blood pressure alone, and their pressure still goes up. In some cases, stay high, really high, 200 over 100. So, and they're on 3-4 different blood pressure medication. So blood pressure, that's why it's so deadly. It destroys a lot of the organs in the body. So avoid those foods as much as you can, or avoid them completely. If you do avoid them completely, you could look forward to having a longer life.
Okay.
Yes, you will.
Okay, great. We've got good questions coming in here. All right, next. This one came through on YouTube. What would you recommend for an 84-year-old female who has knee issues like swollen knees?
So, I'm going to assume that there could be some arthritic conditions in the knees as well, but it doesn't have to be. It could just be an injury. A lot of you have injury, especially you fall or you have motor vehicle accidents, you have injury. But we do have a joint system to help everyone, whether it's arthritis or it's RA, whatever it is. We have a starter system to help to rebuild the joints, to rebuild not just the knees, but rebuild the joints. Also rebuild the bones. If you have joint issues or knee issue, you also have bone issues. That's why the ligaments, the tendons, the cartilage, the synovial fluids, all those are rubbed. They're rubbed out, or they're worn out by the inflammation called arthritis. So we have a starter system, but if your condition is chronic, we also have a more upgraded system for joint or knee issues or arthritic issues.
Okay.
So you could get that, and people have, it helps a lot of people.
Okay. And Mary can put that link in the chat, but again, it will end up in the chat on our website.
And age doesn't matter. 80, 90, 100. We have clients who are 80, 90, 100, and all the formulas we have at NuSpecian can be taken by everyone, even children 6 years and over. Doesn't matter how old you are, and if you're on medication, all the formulas we have, they will not conflict with your medication. Your doctors may say, don't take those things, only because the doctors don't know the extent to which we go with NuSpecian to work with the FDA and to make sure our formulas are pure. They're pure. We have no chemicals added to them, so they will not conflict with any medication. And yes, all the ingredients of all NuSpecian formulas are approved by the FDA.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes even our older clients get results faster. So
they do.
Yeah, there is no one way that this goes, and age never means that you're going to be worse off, or that it'll take longer, or that sometimes we see young people who are much more sick than older folks. So yeah, don't worry about that.
I think older people have better genes. They usually eat better foods. A lot of young people now, they eat a lot of processed garbage foods, and older people just have better lab reports as well. It's not just NuSpecian help them faster. They get better faster. Their lab reports are usually better than their children and grandchildren. They bring them to me.
Mm-hmm. All right. We did get another question through YouTube, but I'm going to need more follow up. So hopefully you can join us on the website and give a little bit more detail. You said lymphatic system. What do you recommend? That, as you know, at New Species, we're always about the root cause, and we don't like to treat symptoms. We don't like remedies. So we usually would need more detail before we could recommend something. We do have one of our detox formulas called lymph nodes, and these are herbs that help your lymph nodes deal with an overburdened bloodstream where there's just lots of foreign matter and toxins, much more than our bodies are designed to deal with. So these herbs help the lymph nodes continue to drain out and handle that incoming. So that's called lymph nodes. It's just one of our basic detox products. And you could use that if you just generally want to support your lymphatic system. But usually a healthy body supports all the body systems. And so by using our flagship formula, L-Nu, you can use 1, 9, or 25. It comes in 3 potencies. If you're generally healthy, L-Nu 1 is fine. And when you're supporting your body as a whole, your body knows how to tend to all of its body systems. So then you could add on the lymph node detox product if you wanted. But we recommend supporting the body as a whole. Vernon asks, I know the powdered cleanse promotes good gut bacteria, but do I still need to take the, you said prebiotic, Vernon. We sell a probiotic, so I'm going to answer it as if you meant probiotic. So our powdered cleanse that helps to clean the entire intestinal tract and colon is excellent for promoting good gut health. And when your gut is more balanced, your gut bacteria is too. But I think a probiotic can still be necessary for folks who eat particularly damaging diets. So like, let's say, for example, sugar. Whenever we eat sugar, sugar kills off the good bacteria in our intestines. And so we do constantly need to replenish that bacteria if we're going to keep killing it. And that's what probiotics do in particular, is just repopulate your gut with the good bacteria that's trying to take up residence there, and we just kind of keep kicking it out. So if you eat a really, really healthy, clean diet, then the detox alone might be enough, and you may not need a probiotic or a prebiotic. But that's really up to you and what you know is going on in your gut. Okay. And then we've got, ER asks, and I wonder, did ER follow back up? No, maybe you'll know what this stands for, Aston. ER asks, how dangerous is it to get a heart valve replacement for an 80-year-old woman with CHF and AFib? I don't know if CHF is like something heart failure, congestive heart failure. That's probably that. I didn't want to assume, so I was hoping you might clarify, but we didn't get a clarification. So how dangerous would be a heart valve replacement in an 80-year-old woman with congestive heart failure and AFib with a history of high blood pressure?
So you need to sit down with all those doctors and have a conversation with them. And I think what the general will do is make a determination as to how critical it is to get, the stent in versus the criticality of taking the risk because there's AFib and then anyone who has congestive heart disease is a very systemic disease to the heart. So there are other complications with the heart as well. So you're going to need your cardiologist, and you probably have 3 or 4 different cardiologists. You mentioned stent. And so you need to sit down with them, your cardiologist, and let them do an assessment as to the risk to do it or the risk, not to do it. And I'm sure, we're all thinking about living longer, living better by doing it or not doing it. I think that they're in the best position to make that determination. So you should sit with them, have a conference with them, maybe face to face if possible, and let them walk you through all the different scenarios. And, and that's a really great question, because that is what happened to a lot of people when they see their doctors, and their doctors use all these medical terms that they don't understand, and then they walk away completely confused or frozen as to what to do or what not to do. But in this case, and this goes for all of you, you all should sit down with your doctor, whether it's your primary care or it's a specialist, if you have a situation, and let the doctor give you the pros and cons, the ratio, as to the what the risks are, the ratio of the risk.
Right. And if you have, if you're asking, Aston that question who isn't a doctor, it might mean that maybe you have some doubt about your actual doctor. And so getting a second, a third opinion for something that big is worth the time and effort. But also, I know with doctors, and I've experienced this a lot with my parents, is that they can sometimes get impatient when you do actually start advocating for yourself and asking a lot of questions, because in their mind, well, what do you want to die? Well, you should just do it. They can get really impatient and insensitive. But I say ignore that. Just pretend like they're not acting that way and ask questions. If you have concerns, usually like open-ended questions could be something like, what is the range of results or that you have seen with your patients who are like me? What is worst case scenario? What's best case scenario? How likely are each of those to happen? So if you ask like broad questions like that, they're not going to think that you consulted Dr. Google and that you're now just putting everything you saw on Google at them, because that definitely could make a doctor more impatient. But keeping it open and trying to understand what's the range of possibility so that you can decide what makes you comfortable. If they seem impatient with that, I would just ignore it and keep asking questions. It's their job, and they don't always have a lot of time. But when it comes to making a big decision like that, you absolutely should keep asking until you're comfortable.
And I know a lot of you are very intimidated. The doctors can be very intimidating, some doctors, but you have to psych yourself up when you meet with your doctors, and you got to tell yourselves that this is life or death, or this can be life or death from me or from my relative. So whatever shyness you may have, whatever inhibitions you may have, you have to climb over them. And insist with your doctor very respectfully that you just need to understand, what's going on, so you can take care of yourself if it's you, or if it's a family member or a friend, so you can assist appropriately, or as much as possible your family member or your friend. So you have to just psych yourself up, and yes, you think the doctor may be abusive by talking down to you or talking over you. You have to just suck it up. Because again, it's life or death for you or your relatives.
Right.
And as Jill says, if you're not happy with your doctor, what do you do when you go to the store and buy a pair of shoes and you wear it and it squeezes you? Do you keep wearing the shoes, burning your feet, or you take it back and get a different one? Same thing with doctors. Change them out.
Yeah. We often think we don't really have a choice, but we do. We do. All right. CW did follow up about the blood pressure and said that at one point their blood pressure was high, but after taking NuSpecian for 6 months, it's running normal or lower. But any salt brings it high until I drink some more water. So that's a little more context there.
So that's a great comment, CW. This goes back to my initial comments about cure and remission. So yes, you take NuSpecian and your pressure is normalized, but if you're seen, by you eating certain foods, or you are under stress and it goes up a little, it means that the 60,000 to 90,000 miles of blood vessels you have in your body is not yet completely rebuilt. It means that you still have blood vessels that are not completely healed. Your body hasn't healed a lot of those blood vessels as yet. So yes, you're not probably over the over high blood pressure completely as yet, but you're doing great. So maybe you need to just continue doing what you have been doing, so you can get to that place where you can eat your salt or use your sodium or your sugar, and you can be under stress, and your body will be able to adjust itself to accommodate whatever the stress is or whatever those acidic foods are. Our bodies are designed to accommodate and adjust quickly when it's strong enough. And that seems to be what's happening with you with taking whatever you're doing with NuSpecian and what you do at home. Your body is rebuilding, but your body's not completely there as yet. That's my my opinion.
Okay, that's good. That's hopeful anyway, right?
Yes.
Yeah, just keep going. And you're observing what's happening, you're keeping an eye on things, becoming very self-aware of what your body can tolerate and can't. And so I think you're doing as well as you can. That's great.
Yep. Keep scrubbing away, as my grandmother would say.
All right, we're over time now. We'll maybe can squeeze in one more if the answer is simple. If you think it's more complex, we can bring it up next week. But Audra says that she's currently taking LNU. She wrote 16. We haven't had LNU 16 in years, so I'm thinking maybe LNU 1 and the 6 got popped in there. I'm not sure, but that was a little throwback there. So she's taking LNU. But she's currently under a significant amount of stress. Death of a parent, mom undergoing radiation treatment. Is there anything else she can add in to deal with that stress?
Boy, that's a lot you're going through, young lady. Just hang in there. And our condolences and your parent passing. That's horrific. I've been through it twice. Yes, I had 2 parents. But as far as your high blood pressure, if you're able to add in the stress pack, we have what's called a stress pack. It helps the body to relax more and the mind. And even if you're completely healthy, you can take the stress pack. And those of you, if you are hyper or have anxiety, you too can take the stress pack. But if you take it, you should only take it before bed, because it can make you so relaxed that you could fall asleep. So you don't want to drive and take the NuSpecian stress pack. So you could add in the stress pack, the vitamin D, and the mineral complex. Those 3 will assist your blood vessels to be rebuilt faster. Yeah, so the mineral complex, the vitamin D, and the stress pack. And of course, I assume that you're taking the detox. If you're not taking the detox, you definitely should be on the detox. And you should take the detox once or twice a day. And if you can, do the powder, you can stomach the powder, take the powder. I personally believe it works better. But, I have clients who have NuSpecians who have fought me on that they work the same. So that's great. And then finally, if you don't have any heart issues or kidney issues, you should get in a good amount of water, not fluids, not juices, water. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you should do at least 50 ounces of water daily. So half your body weight in ounces of water. That will also help to hydrate your blood vessels, so that your body can manage the stress you're going through, and you are going through extraordinary stress right now. But we're going to be there for you, and NuSpecian, we are always going to hang with you. So call us separately if you have any other questions,
Right.
so we can advise you more.
And also like walking or any kind of movement, dancing, running, whatever you actually enjoy to do, but moving your body is excellent to process stress. So it's literally like that. You've got to like process it through and get it out. So that's a good thing you can do too. We are out of time. We had a couple more questions that we didn't get to. We will save those questions and for next week. And if you don't get to join next week, maybe you can email Kayla and let her know. Kayla@nuspecies.com, and she could send you the clip to get your answer. Mary did pop in a few of Aston's common responses to questions related to high blood sugar, and those are completely wonderful options in the meantime. I'm not sure if you'll get a more specific answer from Aston unless you bring up some other kind of details in the meantime. Otherwise, we hope you have a wonderful weekend. Do not let the rain in the clouds get you down. The earth needs to clean up too. So let it rain. Don't let that rain on your parade. We hope you find a way to enjoy this weekend. And we're so happy you joined us today. And we really look forward to seeing you again next week.
Yep. Thank you for the questions. And I hope the responses you got, I hope they prove to be helpful to you. See you next week, Saturday morning at 10 a.m.
The NuSpecian product line of high-potency nutritional supplements empower your body to fight for you so you can enjoy your life full of energy, strength, and endurance.
Our mission at NuSpecian is to offer products to help purify and rebuild your body system so you can lead a better, longer life.
NuSpecian formulas are designed to comprehensively meet your body's nutritional needs. A tablespoon can replace many bottles of tablets filling your cabinets. NuSpecian raw plant-based ingredients are easily absorbed and used by your body. It's safe and effective nutrition that you can really feel. Each of our formulas is designed to support your body as a whole, allowing it to do the work it was designed to do.
My labs have shown that my body's gotten stronger, so I know NuSpecian works.
Maintain, improve, or rebuild your health with the help of NuSpecian.
Order now at NuSpecian.com.